Austin's going through it, man. Let's go through Austin Holleman. I guess he's leaving Kenya. I guess that Pan African shit ain't working out the way. First O'Shea, now Austin Holleman. Well, listen. See how it feels when they not like us. It reverses back on you like an Uno card. They're gonna hit you with the reverse Uno. You not like us. You look at me. You not like us.
For years telling me that, oh, I'm not coming to Africa. Africa cannot be as good as you claim it is. You need to leave Africa. Those people don't really like us. Well, today I'm going to tell you that I've made the decision to agree with you, not on what you've said, but I'm going to agree that you've gotten what you wanted and you have won. I'm making this video to say an announcement. I don't give a fuck if you care about me announcing it or not. I am relocating out of Africa, and I am going to continue doing what I was doing before I ever decided to permanently relocate to Africa 2 years ago in August 2024. Now, the reason that this is happening now, when it should have happened about a year ago, was because if you guys don't remember the last video that I did, if you guys have been watching my live streams, you know all this pretty much by now. But the recent incident that I had at Gecko was God's final sign to me that I have no more of a benefit.
Okay, so what happened? Because I don't keep up with this guy. So what happened? What happened at Gecko? What happened at Gecko, sir? Young man. Let's see. They just don't. Here we go again. Enough already. No. That's not it. He said a video. Maybe he meant a live stream. Two days ago, I was quitting YouTube. Okay, we're switching to streaming. Money's starting to get funny, I see. Should we move to Malaysia? Should we leave Kenya? That was 2 weeks ago. I don't want to go through all this. Okay, let's that doesn't mean that he's leaving the country. Let's just get back to it. I don't want to go through all. I don't feel like doing research like that. Let's go.
Of living in Africa. No more. Will I be back to visit? Absolutely, yes. I have many countries throughout the continent I want to go to, but I do not need to permanently reside there. That incident that happened there showed me no matter how much you do, the culture, it will always be there to stab you in the back. And that has been the story of Africa for centuries, literally. Before colonization, there is a very betraying culture there, and that doesn't mean that every.
Is Nick? Wait, what? But Sly, what if they came from the hood? This is a step up for them. Boom, Kwee and him might see this as an upgrade from fifth. Well, I'm done. I'm not doing this with you, Nick. I don't want no black child in a shipping container. I don't care how nicely furnished it is. It's still a shipping container. I don't want to see no black kid. For them to get out of the hood, to go through all of what they go through, and to get a chance to leave and see the world and just explore options and be challenged and, just have their minds just open to all types of possibilities of life, and to reduce them to a shipping container. I don't want that for black kids. That's horrible. That's terrible. And you're already programming these kids to not want, to pursue the dream of home ownership. You can give me all the reasons not to own a home. But listen, at the end of the day, this is going to be a techno-feudal society anyway. You better own something.
The African is like that, because I have plenty, if not thousands, of Africans all across the continent that love my content, that love how I portrayed Africa. But anybody that is a genuine person, that is not a damn liar or is not a snake oil salesman, knows exactly what I'm talking about. And I've done several videos talking about this. Okay, and there's a reputation for this all around the world when it comes to Africans. Now, that was the straw that broke the camel's back, where it was like, okay, no matter how much I've done, corruption can get in the way. Some random person in another country, because remember, with that situation, the manager told me somebody in the United States texted him complaining, saying that I was invading people's privacy. I don't know how the hell somebody in another country's privacy can be invaded, but that's neither here nor there. We've already crossed that bridge.
Okay,
I don't
so
need to
the
bring it
same
up.
problem he had in Brazil recording. Some of these countries don't like the phone you video recording in open public. So you gotta know what the laws are and what etiquettes, what's etiquette or not, proper etiquette when you whip out that phone, because some countries don't like it. And it's typically all they see is Americans do everything. We've seen the backlash when Japan put out the flyers with the monkeys. Like, black people, stop doing weird stuff.
I've already said everything I need to say. You can go watch the video if you want to find out more and see the real footage of what happened. Besides this, my content, my career, I'm a YouTuber, if you don't know by now, was being affected because simply of something that myself and many other content creators have complained about across the continent, which is that you cannot record simply anywhere. Now, some countries in Africa is worse than others. Like Kenya had the worst of that shit with not being able to record nowhere. But all across the continent of Africa, in Mozambique, Namibia, Kenya, you name it, Uganda, you simply cannot record anywhere. And that's okay. But that's just not okay for me. People follow my channel to see me document my journeys.
Okay, see, this is that American entitlement. This is why the term, what's the term they call Americans? Oh, what is the term? I don't know. It's something with, it's a derogatory term for Americans. But you're adding to that. So he's upset that basically he can't do what he wants to do in someone else's entire whole country. That American entitlement is, jeez,
of me going around the world, whether if I'm in Asia, Africa, Latin America, or Europe. And if I go to a restaurant and I decide to record myself in a wall and I get thrown out the restaurant for that.
Yes, ugly Americans. Thank you, Cynical. Yeah, we're called ugly Americans. Now you see why.
Or if I decide to literally take a selfie inside of a fucking mall and I go get brought into a room and get extorted for recording, it is a idiotic, counterproductive decision to make to be a travel content creator. Now, am I transitioning into a different niche? Absolutely. But do I still enjoy and have a passion for sitting on live streams for 8 to 12 hours and entertaining my audience? Absolutely, I do. Am I going to stop doing that when there's other places where I could do it? Absolutely not. So it limited my content and it added actual stress onto my life to where I feel like I can't even be me, something that I've been doing. Right now, I'm here in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, and I've been recording any and everything. And if anybody does get in the camera, they say, hey, where are you from? I'm from USA. They point at the camera and say, hey, welcome to Malaysia. I'm not saying that you have to do that, but when we have to look at the odds and I can weigh the benefits, the pros and the cons, and I use content creation to make my money, which one makes more sense? What would you do? I mean, literally in Africa, there is so much of this privacy BS. I'm not even bullshitting you.
Wow.
You could probably go record a tree and then post
BS.
it on Snapchat or, Instagram or YouTube. And you probably get a letter from somebody saying that their house was in the background 50 miles away and they could see it with a damn telescope. I'm not even exaggerating, dude. So the thing is, I am a content creator, and the overextension of privacy, you would think you were in fucking China or North Korea somewhere, like it's a police state. That's not going to work for me, okay? On top of that, there was an extreme amount of increased hostility towards me once I returned back to Africa after my last Southeast Asia tour we went through for.
So he didn't learn from Brazil at all. So you know what? Good. I'm glad this is happening to you because you hard-headed. So life gonna learn you. So let life learn him the lessons he need to learn, y'all. That's all. That's it. We'll sit back and eat this popcorn and laugh and giggle and do the whole Leo DiCaprio gif. And he's pointing at the camera like, shh. We'll do that to him.
Or countries a couple months ago.
Don't feel sorry for this dude.
I had a very, very big circle of people in Kenya. I had a lot of friends. I mean, man, you would think I was a popular kid in high school. When I got back, it wasn't there the same way. There's plenty of people that I hung around with hundreds of times in 2025, 2024. I have yet to hear from. There's people at the gym that I used to go to that I seen out and about that actively tried to avoid me. I don't know if and some of my subscribers brought up that this is something that happened when Z came around. If you guys know, Z is my girlfriend from Namibia. Whenever she came around, and I would agree, a lot of this random.
I thought he was married. I thought they got married, so he was faking the whole time. Oh, okay. So we play married. Gotcha.
Negative, repelling energy came about. So this all leaves me feeling mentally drained and feeling like I have to constantly watch my back. And as I said before, I'm surprised I didn't die in 2025. The amount of house parties with the wicked people, not all of them, but there was a number of people that would show up to my house parties while I was there, and I was very drunk, and anything could have happened to me. You know, I mean, imagine if I got too drunk and I passed out while people were there and I didn't have anybody that I could actually trust. You probably wouldn't see me making this video right now. You have to have a very tight knit circle because not all Americans in Africa can you trust. Them niggas ain't no better. You know, they are probably just as bad as the locals when it comes to certain things, when it comes to scamming. And I don't think it's a very friendly environment for me to grow and progress in, to be short. Speaking of that, I started to feel like everybody wanted something from me. And this is part of what comes with being an influencer. But there was entirely too many fake relationships. And let me tell you this. Black people in general are some of the worst people to do business with. I'm just going to be straight up. Like the ones that seem to have proper business practices are the ones that have lived in countries like the United States or Britain. I can tell you guys from doing business just as, you know, maybe promoting or, you know, throwing events at places, just small stuff like that, not building apartments. I know you guys love real estate. I mean, that seems the only thing that goes through some of y'all's minds sometimes. But the exploitative culture that exists in Africa is not just significant, unique to Africans. It's also a offspin into Black Americans as well. That's why when some people say that we don't come from Africa, well, really, y'all ain't no fucking different. I can tell you the amount of times that I have had people that said, hey, come throw an event at my place. I know you're going to bring 200 people. You also will not get any commission off the food or drinks. And you will not, you can't really do anything. And you can charge for entry fee at the front door. But at the same time, you know, you have your reserve section where your event is at, and we're going to seat our customers that didn't pay to come to your event on your side. Yeah, that's how you do business. And honestly, you know, one of the only times that I was able to go to African countries and do business the right way, to be very fair and blunt, I don't give a damn about how you feel about it. It was with Indians. You know, more often than not, were there Black Africans in Africa that I did successful business with? Absolutely. Nelvin Chuma is my tailor that I was able to successfully market his clothes, and it was a fair deal. But the majority of the time, I mean, I don't know if these people think I'm like low IQ or I'm just a fucking idiot or something.
Yes,
but
they think
that I would just take anything for nothing. And that's the culture in Africa. Is you're supposed to give. You're supposed to take, and give as little as possible. And if it's very possible, don't give anything. I remember there was a channel that interviewed me in Kenya. This channel, I believe, had over 2 million subscribers on their channel. And they sent a team to my apartment to interview Bobby and I. And they came with the nice cameras. They came with the lights. And there was a guy that interviewed us. Very nice guy, very nice team. Posted the video. And then I was like, oh, okay, got some good, it was a good, it wasn't a hit piece. It was a very positive video about us. Then I got to looking at the channel. 2 people that I know have been on this channel, and another person that I know of, never met, has been on this channel. And these people were all invited to the studio of this content creator. And the person that interviewed them was, I'm assuming, is the owner of this channel. So then I started thinking to myself, wait a minute, every single video is at the studio and the owner interviewed them. But why is Bobby and R's interview at my apartment interviewed by somebody that's not the same person that's in all the other videos? So basically what was happening was another bullshit ass culture thing. Let me ride we know your name holds some weight, you got some clout, we know if we do an interview on you, we're gonna get some views and we're gonna make a couple $100 and maybe even a couple thousand, whatever it is, or something's gonna happen that's to a benefit of you. I didn't really benefit from the interview too much. It was good content for my channel, but I don't really give it. I have thousands of videos. I don't need any new content. And let me not associate myself with you. Let me give as much plausible deniability as possible. Send somebody else to your place. They interview you. You won't be talking to me. You won't come to my studio. So that way,
I'm just listening to this ugly American rhetoric because this is insane. But you know what? He doesn't see anything wrong with what he's doing. He feels like he's being wronged. What do you say to a person like that? What do you say to Austin Holleman? Like, because he legit sees it his way. He doesn't see anything he did wrong. Like, you can't talk to this guy. He's too far gone.
if somebody says, hey, are you associated with this person? You can say no. Hey, nothing to lose, no sleep behind, just part of the negative energy that I was starting to notice. As I said before, I'm a travel content creator. And this isn't, has nothing to do with the people of Africa, but, traveling around Africa, as you guys may know it.
You know who's a real travel content creator? I hate to be petty, but I show speed. I show speed is the very textbook definition of a travel content creator. Be like I show speed. Don't be like Austin Holleman. Come on.
especially if you're a very honest person, is literally something to go broke behind, right? Like right now, I was able to fly from Nairobi, Kenya to Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia for around $600. Okay, if I want to go from here to Vietnam, is literally like $90. Okay, that's a pretty decent amount for the flight that you're going. If you wanted to go from Nairobi to Tanzania, it's $400 and it's like an hour flight. You want to go from Nairobi to Ethiopia, it's $600. So it's $600 to go to a neighboring country in Africa when it's $600 to fly to the other side of the damn world, right? I mean, it took us 30 hours to get over here. It would take you 2 hours to get to Addis Ababa from Nairobi. So on top of all this other stuff that's happening, when we start talking about, listen, I'm a content creator, right? I can't record nowhere in Africa. I can't travel without running out of damn money. And then when I get to these places, people are trying to use me left and right. So with that being said, if it's cheaper to travel in Asia, Latin America, or Europe, and I don't have the same take mentality when I try to integrate fully into the society, what would you do? And not only are the flights cheap in continents like Asia and Europe and, somewhat of Latin America, but especially in the United States, overall, the cost of living is going to be significantly cheaper. And is this a deal breaker for me? No. I already knew that places like Kenya and Namibia were significant or slightly more expensive than places like Asia, Southeast Asia, and Latin America. I already knew that. I moved to places like Nairobi, Kenya, and I spent a good amount of time in Namibia because I felt at home there. But generally speaking, I love the people there, and I still do love the people there. But the pros have started to be outweighed by the cons. And yes, I don't mind paying a little extra to be where I want to be, but when we start adding these things on top, and then we start looking at places like Sri Lanka, which I'm not considering living in, but if we start looking at places like Sri Lanka, where I was there for 3.5 weeks, and I rode around on the Ubers, their version of Uber all day, and I spent $80 in 1 month. In a place like Kenya where you ride around moderately, it was costing me $200 a month. Not that big of a difference, but when we start adding all these pros and cons on top of each other, this is another icing on the cake. You can get a lot more bang for your buck in Asia. On top of that, if you guys have not noticed, if you've been paying attention to my videos, my priorities have started to change, right? I used to be basically, if you want to call, I hate saying this word, but playboy, Austin that goes around to different countries approaching women online.
I think what it is, Nick, I think that Brazil, that fiasco in Brazil seriously harmed this man's reputation because everybody sees him coming a mile away. Like that interaction in Brazil, I just think did long-term deep damage to his reputation, to him as a man, how people are ready to receive him because they already got their mind made up based off what happened in Brazil when they come across this guy. So I think that did long-term damage to him as a person and as a creator that he will not overcome no time soon. Like he would have to go away for some years and come back on some other stuff for that to no longer be an issue, but it's always going to be an issue. Everything on the internet is pretty much forever.
Live streams and trying to run the body count up, essentially, which I did. And now I have said to myself, I don't want to do that anymore. When I come across somebody that is fit for me, I'm going to take the opportunity. And I did whenever I went to Namibia, which is where I met Z. And so that has entirely shifted my mindset to want something more stable. Now I do care about the extra money that I'm spending in Africa when I could be somewhere else spending less. Now I do care about having a bunch of fake ass motherfuckers around me that probably end up killing me one day. Because it's not just my safety anymore, it's her safety. And, if I want a family, these are things that I have to think about. So again, the priorities have changed in this time, and I can thank Africa for that, because one thing that I have told you guys before is that Africa will mature you, because there is a lot of nonsense going on there that you wouldn't know until you went there. And going through hardship and a lot of life experiences will make you grow.
I'm curious, not to be petty, but has O'Shea reached out to Austin? Because this was the guy O'Shea was propping up to be the next face of the space. Did y'all forget so quickly? This was O'Shea's pick, y'all. This was his number one draft pick to be the face of that space, to lead y'all to the promised land. And look how he just fumbled and stumbled and tripped and fell over and spilled over and dropped, right?
Grow up pretty fast if you don't know. So with all that being said, I'm pretty sure you guys have a gist of exactly why I made this video. I mean, I felt like it was starting to get unsafe. God was telling me that through my income, my viewership going down, my safety, the people around me, that it was time to do something else. I've done a pretty good job promoting places like Kenya and Namibia, and many other places throughout Africa. Did I like them all the same? No, but I think I did a good job combating the National Geographic narrative of HIV, mosquitoes, and lions running around in somebody's backyard. What is next for me then? Well, I'll tell you this right now. What's next is whenever I go back to Kenya, I'm going to have to sell all my stuff, and I'm going to have to get the hell out of there. I'm going to have to make it permanent that I don't, because I'm trying to hold on to Kenya, right? This isn't just about Kenya. I'm living in Kenya. That's why I'm saying that. I'm trying to hold on to Kenya as much as I can. That's why when I went and got Z, we came back to stay in Kenya. I said, hey, we're going to be based out of here. And then when that gecko incident happened, I said, I think it's time to go. My views are already down. Random BS is starting to come out of nowhere. Nothing wrong with the people of Kenya, but my time is up. And if I keep ignoring signs, it's going to get worse and worse. And it might be something that I can't reverse. So we're going to be continuing our journey.
Okay, well, I guess he's starting to slowly wake up. I guess it took for him to get a woman. See how this works? So it finally took for him to get a woman, and for him to finally understand that you as the leader, there's decisions that you make or the decisions that you don't make can affect her as well. So for the first time in his life, it seems that now he's thinking for two instead of just for one. But it took for him to get a woman to come to this maturation, this mode of enlightenment. That red pill shit don't work. Because I tell you guys all the time, all it takes for you to meet the right one, not the right one, but the right one for you at whatever time that you're in your life ready to receive her. And that shit will change. You will change your thinking. Okay, let's continue. Will
I be back to Africa to visit? Hell yeah, absolutely. I have to. On top of that, I will be back to visit. But I don't have to stay. The mistake that I was making was overstaying my welcome in Africa, generally speaking. So we're going to go on another journey around the world again. And this time, I feel like God sent me to Africa so I could meet somebody that I'm going to start a family with. And now I'll be redoing the same journey with different intentions, with someone with me. So I just felt the need to give that update because not everybody watches my live streams. And I wanted to come out directly and clearly say this all in one breath in one video. So if you guys enjoyed that, leave a like, make sure you are subscribed. And if you guys want to see my live streams that I do on a daily basis, walking around Asia where nobody's stopping me from recording.
All right, so he's going to go back to Asia. Okay, it's a safe bet. It's either that or Latin America. And I think, Asia is more, the content is going to get bigger numbers.
It'll be on kick.com/Austin Holleman. Kick.com/Austin Holleman. Yeah. That's where you can keep up with me in real time. Will I still be posting travel videos here? Yeah. But my content being Afrocentric is going to have to come to an end simply because, not because it's not benefiting me, it's because it's working against me. Okay? So anyway, I love you guys. I love you.
All right, so the money getting low. Okay, the money getting low. Y'all ain't seen his little girlfriend? Now, I know at one point he was fake see, here we go.
Guys, I know some of y'all study my life so closely and y'all want to know the latest update because some of these guys would die without seeing Austin and Z's chronicles around the world. So we're back out here in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, sitting in the nice sun with our shades on with a Honolulu flower in her hair. And
I will take him serious if he marries this woman. Now, y'all jet setting and globe trotting is cool, it's cute. I don't take you serious until that paperwork gets involved. I don't take no couple serious until paperwork gets involved. I don't want to hear shit about no private marriage contracts. Ain't no bitch about to marry you with a private marriage contract. Please stop that nonsense. You gonna come right with the right paperwork from the state, or it's not gonna happen. But let's continue. That's his little girlfriend.
We are enjoying ourselves. So if you want to dedicate any live streams to this, go right here. Here, take a thumbnail shot right there. Okay, let's give him a thumbnail shot. Come on. All right, yeah, thumbnail shot right there. Yeah. So we just got our tickets to the next country. Z is actually a digital nomad. Yeah. And we are so blessed to be out here in Asia right now. We are living our best lives, enjoying the great people here in Malaysia. They have some great people out here.
Yeah, they do have nice
very,
people.
Very friendly people. Mm-hmm. I mean, I thought it couldn't get any better, but it does get better here in Malaysia. And tonight we're going to go shoot some pool with some friends. If you guys know Terry that was out there in Kenya with me, he's a big advocate for Malaysia. So I'm gonna see if he can bring just in case, some people, I want to make sure they get a good thumbnail. So let's hold each other right here.
Hey, this how y'all get when y'all get your first real girlfriend. Hey, this how y'all be when y'all get your first real girlfriend. This is Mattel's My First Girlfriend. This how y'all be when y'all get your first girlfriend, your first real girlfriend. This is so cute.
This part's forever. Let's make sure I can pick her up. I can hold her in the air. You know, I can throw her around. And she thinks that I'm so funny. Do you guys see how she's laughing? She thinks that I'm so funny. Here, let's go over here. Let's go over here with a light a little better. I'm sorry. Let's restart that. Let's just make sure they got a good thumbnail right here. And they can know that. Pick her up. She's nice and happy. She thinks I'm so funny. And yeah, you know.
Why would they want a thumbnail of you, sir? God bless him, man. He a little slow. He is a little slow. He a little touched. But God bless him, y'all. God bless him.